Today has turned out to be a pretty cool day because James Webb Telescope just released its first 5 images of its exploration throughout the galaxy. And just in case you don't know what I'm talking about, you're over there scratching your head wondering what I'm talking about, who is this James Webb and why does he have a telescope? Well, just to give you a bit of the cliff notes to catch you up to speed here, the Webb Telescope was launched back in December 25th of 2021. And it's pretty much just an upgraded version of the Hubble telescope. Just think of that Family Guy joke, the Washington Monument next to the Obama Monument. It's like that. It's going to be bigger and better in every way possible. And the big selling point of what this telescope was going to be able to do is it said it was going to be able to look back the furthest in time we have ever been able to look. Billions and billions of years, close to the start and the formation of the universe, while also bringing very high quality images of what it's seeing. And those are some big words to back up. That's not an easy feat to accomplish, but oh boy, did they do it. And they did it in spectacular fashion because these images are absolutely going to blow you away. So this right here is the first image they released, and it's the deepest and sharpest infrared image of the early universe ever taken. This image was literally captured less than a day of this telescope being out in the cosmos. That is pretty crazy right there. That's an amazing achievement in and of itself. But this picture is absolutely bananas. You better be holding on to your socks because they might just blow off. This picture is insane. I think they said the scale of this, the James Webb Telescope taking this picture, the similar scale would be if you grabbed a grain of sand and held it out at arm's length while looking up to the sky. That is pretty much the view that the James Webb Telescope has of this area that we're seeing. That is how far away it is, and it really puts it into perspective of the scale of this thing and how magnificently large the universe really is. And makes us kind of seem really insignificant. If you think about that too long, it might just drive you to the brink of insanity. But to step away from the whole philosophical talks about how insignificant we are, this picture is crazy. This is the one they released yesterday, the day before they did the live stream and released the other 4 images. But this one might just be my favorite because it shows you all the stars and the galaxies that are out there just infinitely. There's so many of them, millions and millions and millions, probably even billions. And the way that we're looking at this right here, from this picture, the telescope is seeing them as they looked billions of years ago. I don't know the whole logistics behind that, how that really works. It kind of goes beyond my comprehension. I'm really into space, but pretty much how a kindergartner is into space because that's when I got into it. I'm not like an astrophysicist or an astronomer. I pretty much think the same as I did back in kindergarten. I'll look at pictures and look up into the sky and go, that's pretty cool. And that's about as far as my expertise goes. So if I say any scientific terms, I'm reading them off of the side of this Twitter thing, and they're not coming from my own brain because I am not smart enough to describe anything that is going on in this picture. I'm so unbelievably crazy when it comes to space that I think I genuinely would, if I was near the end of my life, of course, like 75, 80 years old, my body was starting to break down and whatnot, and they were like, hey, we need somebody to go inside this black hole just to see what happens. I would be like, me, pick me, teacher, please pick me. I want to go through the black hole. You know, I'm no point in not trying. You know, I want to figure it out. I would love to be your guinea pig. I want to be the monkey that you guys send out into space and leave it there to die. I think that would be a great way to go out, you know, just get in a little spacecraft, fly into a black hole. Maybe something cool happens. Maybe everything just goes black. Maybe your spacecraft gets ripped apart and then you suffocate in a black hole, you know. Being inside of a black hole wouldn't be the worst way to die. I could think of many more worse ways. I don't know if that's like a hot take or whatever, but that sounds like a pretty cool way to die to me. Screw all that sentimental crap about being turned into a tree, planted in the soil or whatever, being cremated or buried. Throw me out into space. I don't care. I would happily be there. I would happily be one of those bodies that are forever floating out in the nebula. To continue on to this and stop being a childish, immature little boy, let me go back to the second image they released. I'm going to go through this in the order they released them on the live stream because I did watch the live stream. So this right here is the second thing they released, which isn't a picture of the exoplanet. It's a a little, what is this, a spectrograph? What do they call it? I don't know the word, but it's just a little graph, a wavelength of light in microns of how this exoplanet, it's a hot gas giant exoplanet, and it's the atmosphere composition. So there's a lot of water, there's some clouds, I believe they said. It's just really cool, you know, really cool, if you can't tell from this little image here, this little graph. I know exactly what this graph is trying to tell us with all the dots and the horizontal line and then the vertical lines. I understand it all completely. That's why we're going to move on to the next image they released, which is a picture of the Southern Ring Nebula and its pair of stars by Webb's NIR cam, which means near infrared cam, on the left, and then the MIRI, which is the mid-infrared. It's the mid-infrared instrument, not cam. Similar meaning. But the left one here is the near-infrared, the right one is the mid-infrared instrument. And personally, I think the left one looks much cooler. While they do look really cool, that just kind of looks like a picture from a biology book when they're teaching you about red blood cells and whatnot. But this one looks like space's butthole. I kind of was hoping this was like the cosmos bending over and goat-seeing themselves for us to take a peek inside at their blue butthole. But unfortunately, it's not. It's a exploding star. It's the death of a star, which is pretty freaking cool as well. You know, it's not a goatsy, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. And you can see all the stars surrounding it. Man, this is just really cool. And just for comparison as to how much better the James Webb Telescope is from the Hubble telescope, this is the same area of the Southern Ring Nebula that Hubble took a picture of back in 1998. Now, this is a magnificent picture for the time especially, but it doesn't really stack up to this right here. It's like you're trying to compare LeBron James to a 13-year-old basketball player that goes to your local middle school right here, you know? The 13-year-old, he can shoot a basketball and make it a couple times, but he's not LeBron James, you know? Now, the fourth image right here is pretty cool as well. It's an image of Stefan's Quintet. We see 5 galaxies, 4 of which interact. The left galaxy is in the foreground. Webb will revolutionize our knowledge of star formation and gas interactions in these galaxies. So, I understood all of that. Now, let's take a little peek at this picture, and it's just absolutely insane, man. These are 5 galaxies, and they're all just kind of, you know, mingling around. They're all about to intertwine like a Chinese finger trap. They're going to go inside each other, and they can't really pull back out. So, it's pretty much a collision of universes is how I understand it, which this is just a really cool picture. And just to see, once again, all the stars and other things that are around it, it's just so dope, man. It's so dope. I just get so hopped up when I see this kind of stuff. It just really makes me feel like a child all again. I'm laughing like a schoolgirl right now. But you can zoom into these images, and they are pretty freaking high quality. Like, if we wanted to take a look at this little thing up here, we can take a look at this little thing up here, this little star, and then we can slide over and then look at that right there. And then you can slide over this way and look at these stars over here. I personally think that one looks pretty cool. Looks like a little cheese puff, maybe a little Reese Puff ball. And then you scroll over here, and then that's a little swirly right there. And then those 2 swirlies, that's a star right there, Some more swirlies. Looks like Saturn, but that's a swirly. Now, this last picture is probably one of the coolest space images I have ever seen before. This is really, truly like a space background that you would see on Wallpaper Engine. It is so unbelievable that it's hard to think that it's real. It just makes my jaw drop seeing this. It's absolutely gorgeous. So this says, a star is born behind the curtain of dust and gas, and these cosmic cliffs are previously hidden baby stars now uncovered by Webb. We know this is a showstopper. Just take a second to admire the Carina Nebula in all its glory. So that's what this is a picture of, the Carina Nebula. Oh my god. That's really all I have to say about this. I'm going to take a drink of water. This has got me feeling some type of way. I'm not even going to cut that drink of water out. We just got to take a second to admire this, man. Get your wiener out of your hand. That's really weird to jerk off to this picture. I know it's cool. I know it's hot and sexy or whatever, but it's so insane. It almost looks like a mountain range, but like in space. And if you look at all this stuff here, shoot, I did not mean to zoom in on the web page. Oh god, I'm having an aneurysm. I want to look at these things individually. Like this right here, this like gassy dust looking stuff is so cool to look at. I like this area right here the most, probably. It kind of looks like a hand coming out almost. And there's like it's got like the Thanos stones on its fingers. That literally looks like a fake wallpaper someone would make just because it looks cool. But that actually exists. It actually exists. I don't know what else to say. It looks so fake, but it's real. It's unbelievable. And just to once again put into scale, or put into reference rather, the pictures that Hubble took of this thing, I lost my spot. Where did it go? This is the picture that Hubble took of the same area. Now, it is very cool once again, but man, not the same in any way, shape, or form. It is absolutely so much better. Oh my god. And this project has been in the works for 20 years. It is the Hubble telescope, I forgot to mention that. It started being worked on 20-some years ago, before I was even born. So I got a bit of a shortcut. I got in the fast pass lane to get to look at this stuff, you know, without having to wait the full 20 years and knowing that it's going on and being sitting there on the edge of your seat in anticipation, waiting for the release of these images. I got about a couple-year head start because I'm not even 20 years old yet. So here I am. Apparently this is also a different view of the same area. It's a mid-infrared picture, the MIRI, for those of you that don't speak incest. Very cool as well, you know, just like a very grayish. I think the first image is what it actually looks like if you were to like stumble upon that yourself, where the Watchers hang out if you're in the Marvel universe. And then this right here is the just, I guess, showing off the stars type of image because it's all grayed out almost. And it does, I want to zoom in on this right here. Speaking of Marvel, where's it at? Over to the right. This looks like the Watchers peeking out right there to take a peek. It's like God is glimpsing through with his shining eyeballs of judgment. You know, you can zoom in and see the stars better. This one looks really cool. It's like a watermelon theme. See it right there? It's like a little, it's like a red star, but like letting out green light. That's pretty cool. Pretty dope. There's a little orange one there. A little orange nipple. Yeah, this area right here is probably the coolest because it does look like a face, which, you know, humans are programmed to see faces where faces really aren't. I doubt that's actually a, you know, a being, an entity out there watching. Hey, maybe it is, though. We don't know. The universe is infinite, so I guess there's infinite possibilities if you know, if you're going by that logic. But anyways, that is all of the images. That is all that they've released. That was their entire live stream, those 5 images. So insane, so dope. Amazing, actually. They said they've captured many more pictures since then because these 5 pictures were captured pretty much when it launched. So I'm really excited to see what they release from now on because I'm only assuming it's going to get better and better and better and better. Oh boy, I cannot wait. I feel like a kid in a candy store. I feel so ecstatic and anticipation that I feel like I'm in Walmart about to get my mom to buy a toy for me. I can't feel better right now. This is amazing. A great way to start my day and a great way to end off this video. I'll catch you next time. Peace out.
I'm over here stroking my dick. I got lotion on my dick right now. I'm just stroking my shit. I'm horny as fuck, man. I'm a freak, man.